The soldiers on Butler's side were shouting his name, and one of them shouted, "Please avenge our companions." Attacks of Roman and Butler collided with each other. Roman blocked every attack thrown at him. Butler thought, he has become faster in intercepting my attacks. He does not only prevent them. Rather, he's slowly reading my sword's path. Roman was smiling while blocking Butler's every attack. Then the fear rise in the Butler heart. Do not tell me that. He is testing me? During all this, Roman thought, I can finally see my place in this new world. Although I managed to defeat Homer, who was a 4-star at the movement, I haven't won against a 5-star swordsman. I must fight Butler to see my status. Roman's aura covered the sword and he charged, saying, "So I will destroy this wall here and climb to the new level." Butler shouted, "You rude bastard." There was an aura explosion. The weak random impact of energy was clear. Swordsmen with aura do not exercise accurate control over mana. Instead, their auras erupt like an explosion. This means that not all parts of the sword are equal in strength. If the blade has 120% of the aura, the both sides can only use 80% of its strength. Roman attacked at the sword thinking, I will read the flow of mana and strike the weak point. With the Roman attack, Butler was pushed back. Then Roman attacked with the sword skill of the heavenly demon, the third movement. Huge purple aura slash hit the Butler. A 5-star swordsman was pushed back. Everyone from both sides was beyond just surprise, and they were shocked. Soldiers who were cheering for Butler before were now asking, how could this happen? Isn't Roman Dmitri a 3-star swordsman? How can he fight equally with Mr. Butler, who is a 5-star swordsman in a duel? Butler was on his knees, panting. Edwin, looking at the Butler with anxiety, asked to himself, did he really want to fight to see how strong he is without any deception? If Butler loses to Roman Dmitri, that will be the worst situation. In the end, we will not only lose our strongest combat power, rather, we will also have to withdraw from the back camp. Then he hesitantly told to himself, I can only put my trust in Butler. Well, he still has not shown everything he has yet. Butler griped his sword thinking about Roman. He really is a crazy person. Butler put his aura in the sword and his sword starts to glow yellow with his aura. While coughing out blood, Butler thought, I thought he prepared traps while using the fight as an excuse, but he was really trying to defeat me. The plans we made and thought to be perfect, but began to collapse. Butler looked at the Roman who was in his fighting stance with glowing red eyes, looking like a tiger who was ready to hunt its prey at any movement. Butler thought it was due to the presence of a crazy person like him on the southern front among all places. If I allow Roman Dmitri leave here alive, the kingdom of Hector may eventually have to fight a monster that we cannot bear, so I must kill him here now. Butler released his full power. His body was covered with golden aura. His eyes turned golden due to rush of energy in this body. Butler shouted, I will fight you with everything I have. Butler's eyes emit golden light as he prepared his attack. A sun-emitting golden light just like Butler's aura started to form at the tip of Butler's sword, which grew in size with every second. So far there were only 2 people who prevented Butler's strike. One of them became the strongest duelist in the kingdom of Hector. The other is on the continent list. Butler attacked saying, you are done. Secret art, the sunstroke. Butler's huge aura attack in the form of sun moved toward Roman. Roman took the fighting stance, prepared himself to face the attack. Roman calmingly though while facing Butler's attack, in that case, I can only focus on defense. If this the most powerful strike from Butler, so the strongest shield owned by the heavenly demon, Big Jungkook, is the art of the heavenly demon sword, the iron shield. Butler's attack landed where Roman was standing. The impact destroyed the land. Edwin was shocked to see the Butler's attack collide with the Roman. Butler's attack landed on the shield created by Roman. Roman said while smiling, come on. Let's decide who is the strongest. Your strike or my shield. After that the attack from Butler exploded. Roman was still standing. Edward thought, how? He was shocked. This didn't make sense. Ground where Roman was standing was not affected by Butler's attack. Roman removed his shield with a smile. Butler couldn't understand how Roman Dmitri had stopped his ultimate attack that even a 5-star aura swordsman would have failed to. Butler said, I used up too much mana with one shot. Damn, but I just can't give up here. Roman kicked the ground wildly. He attacked Butler with everything he had for the first time. His mana exploded aggressively as if it was erupting from an active volcano, and Butler was pushed back without even being able to catch his breath. Butler thought, how the hell this happens? I, who have experienced all the battles on the battlefield, to be pushed by a kind in his 20s like this, but I just can't give up here. Even if I die here, I must take this monster that poses a threat to the prince with me. While he was thinking this, Roman grabbed his face and slammed down him on the ground. Butler gathered every last drop of his strength and he exploded his aura in order to take Roman's life. But this was not enough to stop Roman. Roman spoke with dominating voice while preparing to strike down Butler. I shall always remember your willpower. Seeing this, Edwin shouted in anger, "Stop!" Rune flare. Flames exploded from above the wall. As Roman stepped back to avoid the attack that aimed for him, he saw the gates opening and troops rushing out. "Rescue Knights Captain Butler! You bastards! Do not touch our captain!" The soldiers rushed in crazily. The Hector Kingdom had seemingly been abandoned by God. They gave up the reputation of the Hector Kingdom that was left internationally and chose to save Butler. Nevertheless, Roman Dmitri was waiting for Edwin Hector to show humanity right from the start. "Roman, I should not miss this opportunity." After which the scene shifted to the past. The first attempt to prevent the war from escalating further was done. The nobles of Cairo reacted somewhat suspiciously. The news that Butler was defeated wasn't readily accepted, so they asked one more time. Let's say such a miracle happened. What is the next plan? What will happen from then? Based on their reaction to what they heard, Roman said, "As you all know, I have experience dealing with the Hector Kingdom in the mountains." The Hector Kingdom decided to retreat, but they didn't just retreat. They went down the mountain with the bodies of their lost comrades after such a night. Do you people think that was the right decision? Emotionally, it might make sense to do that for their dead comrades, but at the time, the Hector Kingdom was under pressure, and they took a break to capture the front-line defense positions, which was the only way to recover from the lost victory. He ordered the tired soldiers to bring the bodies down, and as a result, they could only rest after the sun rose to the middle of the sky. Edwin Hector is a good commander. I plan to take advantage of that aspect of Edwin Hector. Butler is capable of breaking his righteousness in a fight. I beat him. The first part of the plan is done, and the second part starts. I will not kill Butler with a single blow. I will only incapacitate him. Then the scene shifts to the present. Roman said the time when Edwin Hector decides to save Butler, that's when we start our second operation. Attack. You have to buy time to save the Knights Captain. The soldiers running towards Butler showed their will to die. Butler's existence was worth risking their lives. The battle began. Roman slashed the knight who rushed before him and ruthlessly slashed the others. Roman thought, "Edwin Hector, it is clear you're a good commander, but you're not fit for war. Rescue Butler. Buy us time." Their purpose was to rescue Butler. As his comrades were dying, a few troops came up to Butler and carried his limp body away. "We cannot attack like this." From above the wall, people who were watching this were shocked. Their allies were fighting with him, which made it tough to land a hit. The nobles of Cairo, watching the situation from a distance, couldn't help but marvel at Roman's progress. It's like magic. Roman Dmitri is the greatest talent Cairo has ever produced. I can see why Marquis Benedict tells us to recruit him at all costs. The moment Roman Dmitri swears allegiance, not just the weak king, but the other two empires which harass Cairo will back down. Count Fabius, who had come to his senses, gave the order as planned. Count Fabius shouted, "Troops, forward! Attack!" The order was carried out. The soldiers placed the arrows they had prepared in advance on the front row and fired it. Edwin said, "My stupid decision has created this situation. A pathetic fellow, an idiot. As a commander, I should have maintained my composure until the end, but I lost my judgment for a moment at the sight of Butler falling. No, it's not over yet. We'll save Butler and close the gates. There's still a chance of winning." Edwin fired a fireball, shouting, "Flare rune." The fireball landed near the Cairo soldiers. The magician at Castle Wall shouted, "Help the prince." They launched multiple fireballs at the Cairo soldiers. Count Fabius shouted, "Spread wide and dash. If you miss this opportunity where the gates are open, we will lose more life." Kellen, a knight of Hector, who was in charge of the rear position, expressed anger at the situation in front of him. Witnessing the situation, he wanted to close the gates immediately, but the soldiers were still fighting Roman.